What's up, Johnny?
What's up? Welcome to the Cavalry.
Yeah, I realize I've been doing this voice. I haven't even been trying to do it, but my wife called me out on it this morning, or she just acknowledged that I do it. But every morning, my brother-in-law's with us, and he, when I see him, I go, "Good morning." I do this kind of voice, and I was like, they're like, "Are you doing a Dr. Now impression from 600 Pound Life?" And I'm slipping into Dr. Now from 600 Pound. Good morning. Hey, Johnny. Okay. Good morning. So
it's on your mind from getting all that backup from me.
I know. And watching all that 600 Pound Life, which I shouldn't be doing, but
how's it coming along though? Are you up? Are you getting there? Are you close?
I am not. I think it's too hot. I'm sweating like crazy. This is like heat wave here. We moved to Portland, Oregon because we were like, we got to move north. We were in LA, too many fires, too hot. We'll move north to Portland, and it's like 100 degrees to get in Portland. We didn't go far enough north. We should have kept going. We're going to Alaska next. If anybody knows a cool spot in Alaska,
I would think you would know all the cool spots with your cruise ports and all that. Catch a can.
Those are the uncool spots where the cruise ships go, is where you don't want to live.
Right, that's
where they get invaded by like 6,000 stars of My 600 Pound Life every week. So I don't think that is where I want to go. But anyway, welcome to the Cavalry. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. I don't know. This schedule's been a little hectic, but we still are giving you episodes every Monday, so we're being pretty consistent. I'd like to think that for the two of us, this might be the most consistent project. We're coming up on like 13 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
That's the longest I've ever gone doing something that I said I was going to do every Monday. So I don't know about you, but
is that quarantine or just lifelong in general?
Well, how do you feel? Do you feel you've learned some lessons? Do you feel like you've grown, or you just think like there's nothing else to do?
Are you talking about like, have I learned lessons from doing the podcast, or just
no, but like just growth? Like, okay, let's stay consistent. Like, you feel like,
yeah, I think we've grown.
I'm talking about you. All right.
You like it how I say that like it's a question? Is that right, Andrew? Have we?
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I feel like I'm slapping you around off screen, Johnny. God damn it, we talked about this.
You're gonna
tell everybody that there's growth. Yeah. Well, clearly,
this podcast keeps me centered. It's my meditation.
This is an abusive relationship.
It really is. I was bullied into this.
He doesn't want to do this, folks. He is trying to quit. Oh,
I hope you know what, I wouldn't be shocked with all this publicity I know that this one won't come out for a little while, but all this publicity we're getting from Walkin' Sauce, I wouldn't be surprised if our listenership skyrockets just from her.
Oh yeah. No, and they'll only listen to her episode. It's funny because she promotes it so much better than we do. She knows she's doing stories and doing little videos, and so yeah, we should just have her on more often.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, this is the best podcast I haven't listened to," and it's like got 90 likes. I'm like, "Oh, wow!" I don't get 90 likes when I post my son's birth.
I feel like, yeah, no. Well, that's because you try to plug in plugs for the podcast in the birth announcement. That's why people don't like it. If you ever use the word podcast in any sort of posts, that's no likes. That's a skip. You could be like, I cured coronavirus. By the way, listen to my podcast. And people are like, no, I'm not gonna share.
I don't like it, and I don't care about whoever you said has coronavirus.
Yeah. But anyway, so thank you everybody for joining us. Those are what I like to call the opening remarks.
This is the opening friendly chit chat.
How is it hot in Wisconsin?
You know what? We're both wearing Hawaiian shirts, and you know what I was told at my son's birthday party? Apparently, these Hawaiian shirts are now like that's a sign. That's like a secret sign of.
Oh yes, yeah, I know.
I didn't know that. I was like, no, I'm not stopping because of that. They're not taking this.
See. This is why we're doing the podcast together, because I had the exact same conversation last night. Because I learned about the Boogaloo. It's like
that's what it is. The Boogaloo
it's crazy white supremacists, and they want to. I don't know what's going on with them, but they wear Hawaiian shirts, And it's the same thing with like this. They do the OK sign,
Right.
mean white power. And it's like that used to be just a fun game you'd play where if you put that on your leg, you'd punch the guy if he looked at it or whatever.
Right.
So it's like they're co-opting all these things. So yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, we got to take a stand. We got to continue to wear Hawaiian shirts and not let this become some secret message, Because what's
This is
next?
my line
Flip flops?
stand.
What, I can't listen to Jimmy Buffett anymore? Come on. Where's this going to stop?
Enough is enough.
I can't sweat uncontrollably without being a white supremacist? I don't think so. So,
no. So it's on the record now. It's down. Me and Andrew we are not white supremacists.
No.
I mean, I'm not. I don't want to speak for.
No, I'm not either. But this would be the worst rated white supremacy podcast. I feel like if you are a racist podcast, you get way more listeners. We would be failing so bad if we were racist. No, we're not. And we're both wearing Hawaiian shirts. Is it? But that's what I asked you. Is it because it's hot there? I wore this to try and cool down. I was like, oh, this will make me feel cooler if I wear this because it's so hot.
I'm generally just a cotton t-shirt guy, but I was like, you know what? These are thin, breezy. Let my chest hair blow in the wind.
Let it out.
Let
that chest hair out. Let it breathe.
Oh yeah.
But you guys probably have AC. See, people in the Midwest
we
have
do
air conditioning. Yeah, I know.
Do you not?
No, nobody in the Northwest has it. It's like, one, it's not very humid here normally, so I think that's part of it. But also there's this weird sort of resistance to anything. It's very Pacific Northwestian to go, oh, we don't need that. Oh, why would we need that? Oh, you'd only need it 6 weeks of the year. He's like, yeah, but those 6 weeks you're like dying. So no house has air conditioning.
Those are the most miserable 6 weeks.
I know.
In the house.
So we're struggling, but we're doing it. We're fighting through. Okay, we're here doing a podcast.
You don't need AC if you have a Hawaiian shirt in your closet.
We're putting it to the test. We'll see. What do you need? What is it this week? Where do you need your backup, Johnny?
This has been weighing on me so much.
Oh my gosh.
But don't you? Okay, so I just need your backup. Do you feel that white people are superior? Okay, no. Let's. Okay. All right. So this came up because I'm talking to like a buddy, and among peers, whatever, I don't care, but just like people your age, like when people just like discussing money, that's what it is. But basically, I think it's kind of odd for someone to just be like, and not like a stranger. I mean, obviously if it's a stranger, but like someone you know or that you're, an acquaintance with, and they're like, oh yeah, what does that pay? Or what'd you pay for that? Just money, finance discussion in general. And I don't know if it's because growing up, I didn't know, my parents kept that from me. I didn't know how much cars cost until freaking I graduated college, just because they never talked about finance. I didn't, none of that stuff. I thought, let's see, I think I was probably very young, but I thought when you went to work, you had to pay to go to work, which obviously I didn't think the system through very well. But I'm just saying that's how sheltered I was from financial knowledge. And so maybe that's why, to me, it's like so jarring when people are like, oh yeah, well, it depends, talking about unemployment. Like, well, what'd you make last year? Like, oh my God.
Oh, I know. Oh my God, I know. That, okay, I'm going to back you up, but I agree because I have the same aversion. I don't like to talk about money or how much money, like, and we're comedians, so we can talk about it in that terms, but
right.
How much did that pay? How much do you make? I play that stuff pretty close to but I do think that's something, you're right. It's like the way you're raised, because other people I've noticed are not like that at all. And have no.
It's not like, they're not even tiptoeing when they ask, because they wouldn't even think, oh, that's a personal thing.
No, and it's worse too when you get like people, and again, I don't know if this is specific to stand up or not, but when they go, well, how much does that gig pay? And that you've already said that you've done it. Yeah. Oh, what did it pay? and you say how much, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't do that. It's like, well,
Right.
now I feel like a real asshole.
Right.
And you already bumped it up like a couple
Right.
$100 because you were ashamed about what I did pay. So you're like, it was 400, but I'll say 600. And then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, 600. You wouldn't even make money doing it? And you're like, okay, I got to bump that up a few $100
Right.
next
Oh yeah, totally. My
We
$1,200 weekend became an $1,800 weekend real
yeah.
quick.
We watched this show, Grand Designs, my wife and I, on Netflix. Do you ever watch this show? It's like one of these British. It's like English people do these shows so much better than us because it's like kind of like House Hunters or something, but they follow these home builders for like 7 years of the process of building a house, and it's very and he keeps going back, and you see the whole thing. But then he is so, and maybe this is a European thing versus American thing, but he is so like he wants to know how much money it costs. He'll be like, "So what are you in on it? How much?" And he's like, "Where's the money coming from?" He asks that a lot. Like, "Are you guys in debt? Are you getting it from family? That's awkward, you know." He's like, "Who among you? Which one of you makes more money?" Like, he's so obsessed with money, but it's kind of, as a viewer, it's kind of great. Like, it's
Oh
probably
yeah.
uncomfortable for them, but yeah, I do want to know all that stuff. So I get like wanting to know, but I'm like you. I'm uncomfortable. I don't like talking about it for both ways. I wouldn't want to say, I guess if I were super rich, I wouldn't want to talk about being so rich all the time. Rich people hate talking about money because they don't want poor people to get mad at them.
Right.
But then when you're just a working comic, you don't love talking about it either because you're a little ashamed for what you're doing
Because it
for
makes you sad
sometimes.
about how much money you have in the
Right.
bank account. It's so
Yeah.
funny every time you talk about the shows that you watch. I mean, I
Not on
hardly
the
watch
same
any
page.
show unless it's like the most outrageous or just proven, like, I don't know, Ozark or Breaking Bad, unless it's just like undeniably universally accepted. I'm just like, wait, what? Especially reality shows. I can't. I'm just like, you wait.
Oh,
The show is you're watching people build things. I don't even
yeah.
turn my head when people are building things next to me. I don't
Well, it's
care.
I feel like I watch a lot more of this sort of like you probably watch just less TV. You have 3 kids, you got a lot of stuff going on. I just watch a lot of TV, and so it can't all be Ozark. It can't all be like scripted,
Right.
beautiful television. At some point, you have to do like the mindless.
But
You
you have
know,
you have your show, The Bachelor.
yeah, that's mindless.
I
That's
know
like
that show would put me because I'm familiar with what it is, but like it just puts me in a bad mood because I'm just like these people like the ratings
yeah.
these people are getting,
Oh,
everything
I
is
got a
so
show
fake.
for you.
The people are so fake. It just infuriates me. Maybe it's because I'm like trying to be, in that business. My brother has been trying to, he's an actor, and I'm just like, and this dipshit, already rich,
Yeah.
idiot, doing
I've got the
nothing.
cure. I've got the
What?
show for you. This is the cure. This is gonna make you feel. There's a show on Netflix. I don't know when this became just show conversation, but there's a show on Netflix called Love on the Spectrum, and it's like a dating show for autistic people. It's like from Australia, and it is
Okay.
the most amazing show. There's only 5 episodes. Okay, you'll watch all 5 in a day. It's the most amazing. It's like The Bachelor, but if you take all the pretentiousness and
Oh,
assholes
okay.
out of it, and you just put in pure honesty, like because part of the autistic thing, it's like, and it's not exploiting autistic people. It's very respectful, and it's actually showing like how much work they've done to be verbal enough and pick up on enough social cues to go on dates. So they set them up
Right.
on dates, and they show how they work on like the social situations and all that. But then they're so honest, it's hilarious because they'll just go, "Yep, thank you. I don't see this going further, so goodbye." And then they leave. And they just like they're so brutally on, and you're like, man, that would be so great to just be so honest. And you realize how much you lie as someone
Yeah.
who is socially equipped.
Right.
Lying is like such a big part of it.
So is it like a type of show where you like feel like, oh, there's no way they would have been like, okay, can we get that again? We're gonna set up
Oh,
over here. Can you
no
just get
way,
that
no
again?
way. Yeah, no.
Like
It's like
that's
the
what like
opposite of
every
that.
line on those reality shows. That's what gets me is I'm like, what is this? Take 16 of that line?
No. It's the opposite of that. They trust me.
Nice. All right,
This is not rehearsed.
pitch it to Aaron and maybe we'll watch
Love
that.
on the Spectrum. You'll watch all 5 episodes. Thank me later. I promise you.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get back to supporting in just a second. I have to ask you, it made me think of this. Did you watch the show The Push? I think it's called The Push. It's a reality thing.
No.
It's like people don't know they're on camera, and it's just like how far can you get people? What can you get people to do just based on the principle of they don't want to be rude and not do it? And so it's like, you start out, it's a waiter at a party, and it gets up like each thing gets, significantly more. But the fact that they've done one thing, they're kind of pot committed, and it ends with them trying to get someone to push someone off a ledge. And you got to watch it. Like, look it up. It's called The Push.
Is it an American show? I feel like these European or Australian or whatever shows
I
are
don't
much
see
better.
color, Andrew. I don't know.
I don't see Australian. I was anyway, but that sounds great. That sounds like great television. That sounds right up my alley. The Push. I will look it up.
We're better at promoting other shows than our own podcast.
Yeah, watch The Push every Monday.
The Push. Hopefully they'll sponsor us. Okay.
On TLC.
I think it already got canceled. I think it's on Netflix. Okay, so what? All right, so you agree the money thing?
Oh, I agree. I'm with you. The money thing, leave it. Keep it to yourself, please. Like, if you really want to talk about money, like just talk about your own money, fine. But you don't need to like then go bring it out to other people because like either way, it's awkward. So yeah, I'm with you. Trust me, 100% on that.
It comes up a lot in the quarantine because people are like, oh my God. There's no. How are you? What are you doing?
Oh, you know how it comes? Yeah, the social safety net thing, because it's like based on your salary for us again as doing the loans, the government loans because we're like our own businesses or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very prevalent, and everybody wants to know how much you got because they base it off your salary or unemployment. If you're on unemployment right now, because so many people got laid off, that's based partly on your salary, the state part anyway. Yeah. And there's like these people where like 600, because that's the big thing. It's like $600 a week. Like, because some people are like $600 a week, who could live off that? And then other people are like, holy shit, I hope they keep this $600 a week for the rest of my life. I'll be a millionaire.
Wow, I don't have to work and a pay bump. Oh,
I know. And I feel like the people in Congress, they either think that like that's the most money an American's ever heard of, or like that's like they would they wipe themselves with $600 a week. You know what I mean? Like they have no concept of money. But anyway, yeah. So don't talk about money too much, unlike what we just did. Right. How much money do you make, Johnny? How much money do we make for this podcast? How much have we made so far? Has our accountant told us? Okay.
Oh yeah. Are we supposed to have an assistant?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you check that for me? Yeah.
Benny,
check that for me.
Oh, you got your assistant doing it?
Yeah. Erica's on it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Benny said we haven't made any yet.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's 0. We actually. I'm down for the light. Yeah, and the buzz sprout fees. Oh, here's what I need. Pandemic related. Okay, since we're talking about it, we did this little DIY patio project last few weekends at my house, and I had to.
Looks great. Check it out on Andrew's Instagram.
Yeah, good plug for my patio. Please
I'm all about
plug
today.
The patio, but I did post a picture, but then so I had to call Lowe's because I got the wrong pavers or something, and I ordered them online, but then there's no way to cancel the order online, so I had to call them to try and get it fixed. So anyway, I called Lowe's, and you get put on hold right away, and then they're like, "Oh, due to the COVID-19, wait times may be longer than usual." And okay, this is what I need backup on. Is like not everybody is affected. Lowe's didn't close for one day. Not one day where they closed. And they have just as many people. And answering phones, you can do that from home. You can have people working from home answering the phone. So why? I feel like businesses now, so this is what I need back on. They're taking advantage. They know they can be shitty at what they do customer service wise, and then they just blame it on the virus. We'll be 20 years after the cure and the vaccine, and they go, oh, well, due to the COVID, there's a $25 fee on this Ticketmaster charge or whatever. There's always gonna be something, and we need to call it out now on businesses that aren't actually feeling it. Otherwise, because like this is what I thought of today, but like 9/11. That was a quick transition. But no, after 9/11, there are all these changes in the airlines, but none of those went back. They didn't okay, we figured it out now. You don't have to pay for your, check bags. So it gets stuck forever. So I'm telling you, everything you call right now, you put on hold because of COVID. There's no customer service thing you can call that there isn't a giant wait time.
Maybe are they going for the angle? I mean, I totally agree with you. It's ridiculous. But maybe Lowe's is going with the angle of, hey, look, due to COVID-19, everyone's at home. Everyone's doing their patio.
We're over.
We are. We got too many calls. We got so many calls.
They're like, business is booming. Okay, we cannot keep up.
We cannot keep up due to COVID-19.
With all the morons out there trying to build their own deck. We got a lot of idiots who think they're Tim Allen all of a sudden and can. That's Bob Vila.
At least they have a help number, unlike Menards, who I'm still bitter about.
Take that, Menards. This is an anti-Menards podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just think if things are tough, you go to restaurants, you go to pizza places, whatever, tip a little extra because they do have to go through hoops right now to do it safely. I'm all about that. But man, don't give me bullshit about COVID-19 is making your Lowe's.
Yeah, what's the worst business that could be the least affected by COVID-19 that it would be using that?
I don't even know. And something virtual, right? Google is like, hey, your results are going to be a little shorter. We're not going to have as many pages on your results because of the COVID-19. It's just making things really tough right now. So I've already got my eye out. I'm already on the lookout for businesses trying to take advantage. So don't worry. I'm on the case.
All right.
And I appreciate the backup.
Of course. All right. Cheers.
All right. Cheers to that.
You took off your windshield on your microphone.
Oh, I did? Oh, I did.
Well, it's not on there.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'm sorry.
No, no, please don't apologize.
We're going raw dog.
We're going raw dog on the mic.
I'm raw dog on this mic.
I was stalling while I was figuring out what my second topic was.
These peas are popping because we're going raw.
These peas are popping, baby.
I will not apologize for my popping peas. I will cross. I see that line and I cross it.
Yeah, penis. How did that sound?
But you have the windshield on. You.
Oh yeah, I do have it
tard.
That was probably a soft penis then. Hey-o.
Oh, it's too good.
Okay, so all right, I got one. By the way, this is just a side thing. This is what we call mid-show banter. Okay. Write that down, Benny. Mid-show banter.
You got that, Erica? Mid-show banter? Okay. Get the time code for me. Okay, great. Thanks. We use that for the notes.
Okay, yeah, you can use that for editing. So I found an old bin of tapes from when I started stand-up. Oh. And these are from 2000, the year 2000. Because I lived in LA for 3 months, so it's like me at the Ha Ha Cafe and like all these other places, and like at college and stuff. And I mean, it is so bad. I don't know how I am a comedian today, and I remember at the time thinking I am. I mean, this was like before I like was a working comic. This is like when I was started. Like I would do my own shows at college, and then I would do open mics. And like I was so bad and so delusionally confident. It's hard to watch. I have to watch it alone. If anyone comes in the room, no.
They do, but you can make yourself watch them just out
I
of like
watch. I mean, I
morbid
just watched it out of
curiosity.
curiosity. Yeah, just out of
Yeah.
curiosity. And I would show Erin just because I wanted her to see my how terribly I dressed and hope she feels like I improved my wardrobe.
It's
But
hard to say that wearing the shirts.
I know, wearing my too small Hawaiian shirt. But it was brutal. It was brutal. I think I found a clip that's 40 seconds that I think I'm gonna post.
Because it's good enough, or do you want to post like the worst thing?
Because it's terrible.
Oh.
This will be a Cavalry exclusive. I'll tell you the material right now, okay?
Oh, I'm excited.
I can't play it because it's too tinny and terrible audio.
Well, that's what I was gonna.
What the joke is.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question after we do this, and then I have a question.
Okay, so do the material.
Do the material. Go.
Okay.
Do your little skit.
Okay, so here's my little skit. It's two jokes. I don't know if it's either considered. Okay. So how many of you just got back from visiting your sick great grandmother? Okay. Me too. It turns out she's not doing so good. Turns out she has what doctors call rigor mortis. But if you ask me, it's just called being rude.
That's not bad.
And then I say heyo. I say heyo a lot when I was new. And then
were you one of those comics that was like making fun of comics? Like
that's
comedy?
what you would think. That's what you would think. No, I thought I was inventing the wheel here. I was like, this. I wasn't trying to be alt comedy or like commenting on the state of comedy.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, this stupid shit is funny. I mean, I do think that I'd like that joke.
I think a little bit you were okay. Go ahead.
So then the second part was, I visited a lot of people in my first days. So I got back from visiting my girlfriend's parents. I know what you're thinking. There goes the neighborhood. Wait for laugh. Never comes. And then say just kidding and move on to whatever the next joke is.
Okay, that one I don't even get.
Yeah, me neither. I'm going to post that clip, and so you can see the confidence.
Wow.
And how
I like that I remember that from starting out though, but you feel like you need these insane setups. Like this setup it's almost like you have to like justify the weak joke because it's like you have this weird ironic setup.
Yeah.
So like that thing like
so abstract.
who else was visiting their sick? It's like nobody else was, and they don't understand why you're
and it's
asking
not
them
funny that you're asking that. You know that no one else did.
Oh man. But you know what's crazy is that you even have those tapes. I mean, you must have been recording on like you must have brought your own real camera and like set up, and
I am very
that
lucky.
Wasn't that
like
easy.
I have documentation of so much of when I was shitty. And I started getting good. I started getting lazy and not taping. So like I only have footage of when I'm doing awful.
I recorded on an audio recorder. I bought one of those I was a journalism major, so I had like a little tape it was digital, but like a little tape recorder, and I used that, and I used to listen to the sets driving home, but not for any critical reason, but the same thing, just out of arrogance. Like I was like waiting for the laughs, like, oh yeah, they laughed at that one too. And I wasn't actually listening to like improve or anything.
Right. And then when they don't laugh, you're like, oh well, they'll laugh next time. They probably didn't
that one. Yeah, there's something the recording must have cut out there because they didn't hear any laughs. But oh, there's another laugh. Okay. Like no growth was happening at all.
Right.
Do you show those to your kids or anything? Other people must be curious. Like your wife or?
I mean, Erin's seen clips just from being there and just me
What was
being
the
like, look at how young I look.
What was the first time she saw you do stand up?
Like this. I don't know. I don't even know if she knows. I mean, it's very early. It might have been the second time we ever saw each other because we met like out at a bar. I was on a bachelor party, and then I think she like brought a ton of her friends to one of my shows.
But you were pretty established
Hosting her.
by the time she saw
I
you.
was probably featuring. I
Okay,
wasn't. I was
yeah.
like a year away from being a full-time comic because I think we met at the end of 06, and then I quit my job in 07.
I always tell people you got to be like careful when you first start dating someone, how you show off being a comedian. You know, like you can't scare them off with like the worst show because of this loser is
terrible
doing open mics for 8 people, and
I see.
This is what his passion is, or their passion is. And then you also, though, conversely, and I've made this mistake before, you can't take them to like the best show. Like if you have like, you're like, no, don't see me tonight. In like a month, I'm opening for,
Right.
Falconane or something at this theater, and there's 3,000 people, and then I'll take them there, and they're gonna be so impressed. They're gonna think I'm like a god, and it'll be great. And you think that, right? You're like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, there's a next show that they're gonna come to and just be so devastated that was not the norm. So you got to take them like, I always tell comics, like find that sweet spot in the middle somewhere. That's the show you want them to come to first.
Yeah, I never thought about that. That's a good call.
It's my only comedy advice.
Call.
It's the only thing.
And if you want to be a comedian, don't date or meet anyone until you're already doing it, because I can't imagine how hard it is to be dating someone or with someone and be like, you know what? I think I want to start doing comedy.
Especially if you have like a lucrative job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to risk our futures. I'm just so funny. I think we should risk everything so I can be a funny guy on stage. Yeah.
That's our advice. We also offer advice on the Cavalry.
Release the tapes. I want to see the tapes. I think we should post them as a reward for people
reviewing.
Listening. We'll only put them. Oh, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna release 40 seconds or something on your own social media.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm proposing is that we do an exclusive clip that you find from some other archive that's bad, really bad, and we put it only on the Cavalry's social media, and we don't like retweet it or share it. You have to be following, and that there's not, so you'll be relatively anonymous, but you have to be following the Cavalry accounts to see it. How about that?
And so do we mention like go to the Cavalry, it's up, or we don't do anything?
Nope, only on this podcast. You have to be listening to this, and you have to be following the account, and you'll be rewarded with some really bad entertainment.
There we go. Are you going to do it? Do you have?
I don't know. I will look. I will look for something old enough and bad enough. I don't know if I have any tapes, but I will try. I will earnestly try.
You know that 2 of the T-shirts that I was wearing in those shows from 2000 are still in my drawer upstairs. Is that weird? Do you have any shirts that are older than 20 years?
Oh, that I don't know. I have such little attachment to like stuff like that. I don't like get rid of it because like, oh, it's time to get rid of this. It just things just kind of like
fade out.
Me, Yeah. I don't have any like prize. Even the shirts, like, I think it's time to get the fuck out of here. No, but like I don't 20 years
I am
old.
A hoarder.
I don't know. You might be a hoarder. No, but you're just you're kind of like sentimental about stuff, I think.
That's exactly what a hoarder is. Sentimental about garbage. No, don't get rid of that KFC bucket. Are you kidding? Do you know what that's from?
That is the best description of a hoarder, is sentimental about garbage.
All right. Should I get us back on track?
Get us back on track. So
All
do you
right,
feel supported?
yeah. What was the topic?
I forget.
I don't think I brought up a topic. I think that was just a side note about how I was
I thought
watching
your
tapes
stand
of
up,
myself.
you watched old stand up that wasn't it.
Yeah, that's. I literally just knocked over a bottle of Gatorade on the carpet. Okay. Anyway, that's all right. It's already spilled. It's not gonna.
Oh, don't worry. It was just red.
All right.
It'll look
All
like
right. So it's your turn. It's your turn.
Oh, it is my turn. Okay.
I mean, right? I don't know.
Uh,
Are we pretending that was one of my things I needed support?
yeah, if you want, if that's what, do you
You
feel
know,
supported?
either way, I feel supported and
Did we
backed up.
did we accomplish the thin veneer that is the hook
The
for this
format of the show.
podcast?
Benny,
The format?
Benny's nodding. He's like, yeah, just keep going. Keep
Yeah,
going. Just
we're good.
play it off.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Just put the time code down.
Yeah.
So
Benny, who you picking?
here's my last one. So again, we don't like to talk about money on this podcast, but I've been doing a little light landscaping on this.
A little light freelance Craigslist land.
Just a little,
Just as a
hobby of
hobby.
mine.
As a hobby.
Yeah, I like to mix it up. It's kind of like an undercover boss, except I've never been the boss. And but anyway, I go, and normally we do this because what I get called in to do, because this is not a high-end landscape, not to throw shade at the guy, but this is bare bones, sort of like maintenance. This isn't like designing, beautiful fountains and all sorts of stuff like that. Think more like cutting the lawn, edging hedges. And
Right.
so, and a lot of time it's like just some guy who hasn't been in his backyard in 12 years. And like the neighbors just got so pissed off, like, we're going to, get you kicked out of here if you don't do something. So he calls the cheapest person he can find. And I have to go back there and like clear a jungle. That's a lot of what it is.
Okay.
So I was excited a couple of weeks ago when they said, hey, we got this job for you with this. There's like this landscape architect, and he needs a couple people kind of do some of the planting. And he's like this younger guy, and he got hired to like do this person's house, and there was all these different plants he wanted planted exactly where they go. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of fun, because like, I get to see something nice, like a finished product.
Yeah.
And so I start going back, and then he starts asking me questions about, so how long have you been doing this? I'm like, 4.5 weeks. Because you can tell
so
he
this
kind
is
of
a
wanted.
different person than you
This
originally.
is like a third part. This guy, like, he's like contracting out. Yeah, so this isn't like my boss, and it's not the homeowners. It's like he's like the artiste who's designing the landscape, and he thinks he's hiring a couple old pros to come and plant all this stuff. I don't think he realizes, like, I never want to tell people. This happens a lot, like with the homeowners too. I never want to tell them, like, yeah, I was a comedian for 10 years, and then there's this horrible virus, and I was like, what's the thing that anybody can do with half a brain? I guess it's your yard. You don't want to tell them that, because I don't.
Right.
So I don't. Sometimes I kind of fudge it, but so he starts asking me those questions, and I fudge, like I've been doing. I fudge it a little bit. Oh yeah, and do this and that. And he's like, okay. So I start planning, and then he comes back. So I'm working in the backyard and move to the front, and he goes to like plant some things in the backyard to like help.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes out and he's like, hey, did you dig the holes in the back? And I was like, yeah, I dug the hole. He goes, the thing is, they're kind of egg-shaped. He's like, you dug some egg-shaped holes. And do you know what I mean by that? And I was like, okay, this is a quiz or something? And no, I don't know what you mean. I've been in this business 40 years. I never heard the term egg-shaped holes, but I didn't know what he's talking about. People might know what they're talking about out there. But so he got, basically what that is
Wait,
like,
so were you offended or not? You're like, oh, come on, I don't know. No, I didn't.
Well, I was offended at first, but then I was like, well, I shouldn't be, because I am a novice at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. And so I probably did dig some egg-shaped holes. And basically what that is like, you're digging the hole for the size of the pot of the plant, that it's already in. You want it to be at least that deep.
Yeah.
But he wants it like squared out perfectly. So all the dirt out in the sides. And I kind of dug down to the depth and out and left an egg shape. And this is a
like a
problem.
hole in the shape of the edge of the shovel.
Yeah, exactly. A lazy man's hole.
That's how all the holes that we've dug while we're doing our gardening and tree planting have been.
Right. So then you go, oh, okay, well, I guess that wasn't right. Then I started thinking about it. And I was like, how much help do these things need? We're already, you know what I mean? It's a tree or a shrub. You know, those shrubs out in nature, they don't get any holes dug for.
Right.
They have to like fall as a seed or an acorn or something,
Right.
and just like dig their own hole. They just have to survive. And now my hole isn't quite perfect. Like it can't survive in an egg shaped hole. It's ridiculous.
That's the most, yeah, that's the pickiest trees or shrubs. I'm not growing in this.
And I don't think that guy, I mean, I don't even think I would love to see some sort of research done on why that actually matters. Sounds like one person, you know, wanted it done a certain way, and then everyone's just kind of going. It's the same thing with like you're supposed to cut the root balls on the side because like, oh, then the roots can go off. It's like I don't even know if I buy that. You know, who's doing the research on this?
It's all made up. So
it's all made up.
So is that what you? What do you need support here on if these gardeners have gotten together?
I need support on that horticulture as a whole thing is mostly guesswork.
Yes, as someone with the same amount of experience as you, I fully, wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, that's all I needed. But no, I just I don't know. Don't you think it's like a little ridiculous? Because things do grow on their own anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My wife wants, like, we have no trees, and we've planted, I think, I don't know, 5 or 6 trees that we've bought from a, tree store or whatever. And she's one of them, she's like, I think it's having transfer shock. I think it's freaking out. Oh, what are you? It's a plant.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah.
It's that plant, and it's outside. It's not like we're not watering it. It's not like it's not by a window. It's outside. Aren't you done? Like, who takes care of trees?
Yeah,
but we do. We have to water this tree.
All summer, 5 gallons, right? Like twice a week. They gave me the whole speech. And I'm telling you, isn't it that shock thing? I've heard that too. Yeah. Oh, you shocked it because you watered it. Oh, did you water it at night? In the middle? You watered too close to night?
You confused it.
You shocked it. Like, have you ever heard of rain? You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. Life is hard, tree.
Right.
I got some news for you. It's going to be pretty shocking, some of the weather patterns. You're not going to control when you're going to get rained on. My mom was like, we planted roses. She was like, oh, yeah, just don't get the leaves wet when you water them because that can get diseases. I'm like, what? It rains all the time. It's Portland, Oregon. What do you mean don't get the leaves wet? Jackets on all the leaves? It's insanity. The plant. So yeah, we're coddling these plants. I guess that's what I need back up. It sounds like you're with me.
You do slip into a different voice when you're Come on.
Come on.
What are you gonna put a jacket on?
Yeah, I'm doing
insanity.
Bits. So I guess what do I need backup on? It's that I think we're on the same page. These survival of the fittest, I guess is what I'm saying. Like if the plant can't survive an egg-shaped hole, then
that's on the plant. That's not on the digger.
Thank you. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's great. Leave it there. That's perfect. That's on the plant, not on me. It's not my responsibility to do my job correctly.
Right.
So
solid.
That's it. That's the cavalry, everybody.
That's how it works, folks. You got some
pre-show banter.
You got some mid-show banter. Bunch of supporting. I think I got supported twice. I think I only needed it once. I don't know what that second one was.
This is the recap. This is kind of the post. Yeah.
Every episode
post-game
review the format.
Just in case you guys are, for those of you keeping score at home, we want to give an official tally of where we're at. But I think everybody got supported today, so that's good.
That was good.
And if you feel like you need support, remember you can leave a comment or a review on the podcast. And if you go to, I think it's, oh man, I was going to write this down. I forgot. But I think it's review. If you forget, because some people get confused about how to review the podcast. Like, we don't know how to leave a review. It's very confusing. Just go to reviewthispodcast.com/thecavalry. This is what I did. And it'll tell you exactly, it'll make it so easy. You'll have no excuse not to do it. So try that if you're having trouble and you want support. Leave what you need support on in the review.
Have you checked if we got any new ones?
I did not check. Did not check this week.
Do not check, or you have not checked?
I have not checked. No, I'm not telling. It's not something scary I saw on there. No, I haven't. I checked like 2 days ago. I hadn't seen something for this week, but
okay. Benny.
Benny.
Oh, he said we don't have enough time to check, so we might have a bunch. But
Erica's giving me the wrap it up. Signal. I'm getting the wrap it up. Yeah,
we got to get you out of here. We got to get you out of here, Andrew.
I've got another couple holes to dig, so I better get a move. I'm actually on the clock right now. Oh, this is my water break. No, but thank you everybody for listening. Tune in every Monday for new episodes. Johnny, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, buddy. I love the shirt.
Likewise, we're taking it back.
We're taking it back.
Taking it back for the decent people. All right, see ya. Thanks for listening to.
Thank you. I mean, the cavalry.
That's perfect. We're so good at this.